Hello everyone, welcome back to my Darksiders 100% challenge. I am trying to 100% Darksiders 1 and 2, the Warmastered and the Definitive Edition before the third game is released. Now this is where we left off before. We'd just cleared the path and we were on our way to fight the Queen Bat. Ooh, angels. We haven't run into them yet. Right, now I'm going to talk over this. You can read it, the text will come up so you can read it if you want. Basically, they're looking for me. They know I'm here, but they're not sure where.
Demon trick. I know what I
and they're trying to find me. Now this is the first completely and totally missable achievement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it the moment it kicks in,
beneath the stench,
and then I'm going to give it a go. And then I'll give it a go.
You can sense it.
That there, that is an angelic beast, like a griffin.
Neither the White City nor the Black Depths. Something lost between.
And basically, I have to try and kill. There's an achievement to kill 150 enemies on this griffin ride. Now, needless to say, I don't do it the first time, don't be silly.
Slay him!
I get pretty close, I have to say. I get a lot more than I thought I was going to. Yeah, so basically, you get, if you press R2, like a trigger, you shoot. If you hold it, it will tag enemies, and then you can let go for homing missiles. Now, the homing missiles are great because you will have occasionally just waves of tiny bird enemies fly past. And they don't attack you, but there's a lot of them. And if you can get all of them with the homing missiles, then you can rack up a big score. That's really where you need to do it. But yeah, I don't do it the first time, so I'm going to completely skip it. I have saved it. Oh, here she comes. One of the things I love about this part of the game is the fight between her and that angelic beast. Look, there they are up there, and they go into the cathedral, and that fight just keeps going, which I love. You see it throughout this whole story part.
I assume. Guess she wasn't up for having visitors today.
Alright, so in we go. We're into the cathedral. Now, most of these are essentially dungeons. And the way that these dungeons work is you can pretty much get everything you need in them. You shouldn't have to come back to get them, to get anything. So once you are in the dungeon, you don't need to come back for any reason. So I have to get everything while I'm here, basically. And this is the big puzzle for this dungeon, is finding swords, putting them in the hands of angels to open doors. Or pathways, not just always doors. But that is basically, that's like kind of the ongoing puzzle within this cathedral. Here they are. Go, angelic beast. It's given, yeah, it is given as good as it's getting. And up. Alright, see you later. Now, the majority of this is literally just trying to find the boss room. Okay, now these are bombs. This is essentially a mechanic that will now appear throughout the rest of the game. And you saw those red growths earlier. Well, this is how you do it. You throw bombs, and the bombs blow up the red growths. So that's how to get past those bits. Every time you see red growth, there will be bombs around, and you either activate the bombs on the growths, or you need to throw the bombs onto the growths. Going into the courtyard now, look at that, still at it. Oh, they've gone. Alright, so I kept this in. This is me getting that. Now, obviously, you've seen these relics before. This is actually an important one. See, this is a champion artifact. There's a lot less of them. There's only 6. You get a lot more money. So they are worth keeping. And then there's one kind of lord, I think. These are weapons. So I'm now going to get a new weapon. And it is the crossblade. And the crossblade essentially allows me to hit things from a distance. And there's my achievement. Collect the crossblade. I like it when the achievements are mostly story driven because that helps. And here you'll see you can just throw it at enemies and it hurts them. Or if you hold it down and charge it, it stays with them. What will also happen now is Vulgrim. There you go. Vulgrim will now have a bunch of upgrades for that crossblade. So I can now use it. Now this little thing is in every area. You can get one everywhere. The Horde Seeker. It basically shows you where everything is. Where the artifacts are and where the chests are. And it lets you know if you've missed anything. So you see, I can see I missed a couple of chests there. So I need to go back for those. But basically, yeah, I need to get that Trinket Hunter everywhere. Because that's obviously really important to see if there's anything that I've missed to go back for. Bang, there you go. It's always finding holes and bits and pieces to go through. This was my last piece of my Lifestone shard. So I now got up to 2 lives. And I'm going to go up here. And I'm going to leave this in as well because this is quite an important part. You may have seen 3 chests together on that map just now. Well, you can't get in here without that crossblade because that thing will keep stopping you. But in here are some quite powerful bits and pieces. Specifically this chest here, which is the Abyssal Armor. Now there are 10. And I know one piece specifically which is hidden behind the final item that you get. So you can't get the armor until you get the last item, the Void Walker, I believe. Then you get a lot of money. And then this is nice because you break this one open and it's an entire Wrath core. So I now have 3, is it now? So I basically make my way onto the roof.
Has the council reduced the horsemen to common assassins?
And you see, she got him. Poor angelic beast.
Or has Samael bought your loyalty? Because if you offer Satyr Rider, perhaps we can strike a deal.
You won't like my terms.
Now, I have left this fight in because I think it's worth seeing. It doesn't last overly long. I do get confused with what I'm supposed to do at one point because, as you can see, you may not necessarily get it. I've sped it up a bit just because it's easier. Basically, you have to throw bombs, but then you also have to ignite the bombs. Because they're called dormant bombs, so you have to throw the bomb and then throw fire at the bomb to turn it on, essentially. And you have to do that twice. Yeah, I miss a few times, but there you go. And then once she comes in, you get a kill. And that starts phase 2. Now, this is the part that took me the longest, because I really just couldn't remember what it is I needed to do. I do get there eventually. I keep throwing the crossblade, thinking that that's going to work, thinking that that's going to do something. I noticed there's no bombs, so the bombs are all gone. I missed that first time event, because again, it was something I forgot that she did. So I realised that maybe I've got to keep hitting that timing event. And the way that it basically works is you have to hit the timing event, she falls backwards. I am supposed to run forward and attack her with the sword, because the sword is the most powerful. But basically, I managed to get to that point. So you hit her back, and then you charge forward, and you just keep slicing with the sword, because that's by far the most powerful. And yes, I noticed that you can just attack her on the ground. You don't have to wait for the timing event. And there we go.
Do it! Tear out her heart while she still lives. I want to hear her scream. I am one of the chosen. I can grant your every wish.
Can you restore the balance?
No one can do that. The balance is already broken.
No wonder Samael wants this thing. It's coursing with power. You really think he's going to let you live long enough to collect on your end?
And there we go. Achievement for beating Tiamat. And we have the heart he needs. And we get a new life as well. It's always lovely.
Over here.
So let's make my way back.
Tragic. Without your feathered friend, how will you escape this prison of rock?
I'll find a way.
You have certainly proven yourself resourceful. Perhaps I can provide a quicker way.
Speak plainly, demon.
Serpent holes, ancient paths that worm their way beneath the husk of this dead world and beyond. I use them to get about, and for a price, so can you.
What do you want, Bulgrim?
A trifle, really? The Chosen's heart. I felt its power the moment you stepped from that tower. You wound me, horseman. I would never come between you and your friend Samael. No, I only wish to look at the heart. One glance, and our bargain is sealed. Samael will be pleased. The serpent holes are yours, horseman. Seek me out when you wish to use them.
Now, the serpent holes are handy to get around. For example, there is something here that I cannot get yet. Now, I know I said that everything within the areas can be got immediately. The difference here is it's just on the outside. It's literally slightly to the left of those stairs. It's right there. But that's it. That's the only thing that I could not get. So I can just come back and get that using the serpent holes. You see how many there are all around the place. And then this is how it works. Basically, what I love about the serpent holes is you don't just have the teleport. You have to walk the serpent hole and find your way to your needed exit. And it takes you where you need to go. Plus, the one thing I want to try and do, if I'm being completely honest, I don't want to walk around I don't want to go back and get little bits here and there until I've got every item, because there are pretty much hidden things using every item in every direction. So I don't want to kind of go to one area, get stuff now that I have the crossblade, but then have to go back once I get the chain, for example, or you know, go back once I've got the chain, but then have to go back again once I get the void water. It's just, I'm just doubling my work. If I just leave it until I make sure, until I've got every item, then when I go back I can just clear everything up in one go. Now, this is the cutscene for giving him the heart, and I have to say, I gained something here that I forgot.
Not nearly enough.
Beautiful. The second guardian, the Griever, moves in tunnels beneath this place. But first there is an obstacle that must be removed. Ulthane, one of the old ones.
You didn't mention that before.
Changing the deal already, Samael.
Be silent, filth. My business is with the Horseman. Ulthane is no ally of the Destroyer. But you won't find the Griever without confronting the Black Hammer. And that will require strength you don't possess. Yet.
What the hell do you think you're doing, Samael?
Tell him, Watcher, how you stifle the Horseman's true power in order to keep him on the Council's leash. Or destroy this parasite.
You so much as blink at me, and the Council will end you. Both of you. I'm protected.
Not in here. You are War, rider of the Red Horse. Not some puppet on this pathetic creature's strings.
War, I will make you suffer.
Focus your anger. A great rage stirs within you, clawing to get out. You must release it, or a puppet you'll remain. You are reborn.
What was that?
The Horseman is broken, but there is still much power in him. For a moment I saw one who would stand alone against the Destroyer's army.
Yes, I got my fancy form back, my angry form, and I got the achievement. There it is, Chaos form. I couldn't remember the name. Now that comes in handy because it charges up relatively quickly, and it's really good to use against some of the bigger enemies. Okay, but that's where I'm going to leave it. I've killed one of the chosen ones, and I've returned one of the hearts. I'm going to try to make it so that I get through all of the chosen ones in each video, because I really need to get this knocked out of the park and get onto the second one. So thanks for watching. I am getting there. I've got a bunch more achievements that time. Look out for the next part to see how far I can get. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.